Staying with us, of course, we move to the upcoming Edo election, where the People's Democratic Party's decision on Thursday not to sign the peace accord ahead of the September 21st polls has sparked reactions and concern in the state. Out of the 17 political parties contesting the polls, 16 signed the treaty, while the PDP being the only party which declined to be part of the agreement. The state PDP chairman, Anthony Aziegbemi, and its governorship candidate, Aswe Igodalo, were present at the peace accord signing out, but stoutly declined to follow suit. Aziegbemi hinged their action on the alleged arrest of 10 PDP members currently detained by the police in Abuja. Remarkably, few hours to the peace pact, the state chapter of the APC had also threatened to pull out. The state APC chairman, Jarrett Tenebe, who stated this at a press conference on Thursday morning, said the inability of the police to arrest members of the other parties responsible for attacks on their members informed the decision. Well, I still have my my guys in the studio here. Just so you know, you are from that part of the world, the heartbeats of Nigeria, and it's been the headlines has been you know, swirling with all the you know, controversies back and forth. Now, PDP refusing to sign the peace accord in the upcoming elections, indicating the police is in neutral, right, in the grand scheme of things. What do you think the PDP is hoping to achieve by not signing that figurative accord? Okay,
for me, thank you for qualifying that as figurative.
Yeah.
For me, I actually think that you are trying to draw attention to probably some things that that they are alleging is the reason why they are not signing. And I say this because largely what we have seen in this country is that it is just signing peace agreements, with all due respect to the persons who staff the peace committee. I mean, Martin, the highly respected Mr. Kuka, and of course our lovable former president, General Abdusalami Abubakar. With all due respect to them, I feel that, like Shakespeare, it is much ado about nothing. Because usually the signing is just a symbolism, largely, because despite the fact that it has been signed, most times it's not even worth the paper that it is written on, because after the signing, after every election, before every election in this country, there is signings like this. But again, what do we see? Do we not see pre-election violence? Do we not see election violence? What have we been doing about it? So if PDP signs it now, does it mean that there will not be violence? That's actually generally what my own take on that.
Well, if you are saying the symbolic signing is more like a charade, right? But we understand that most elections are not perfect. We see on election days, people still come out to vote, and there's relatively peace in some parts. We know there are some pockets of violence back and forth. But should that hold back a party from actually putting pen to paper to say, we will not cause trouble on that day, to at least give people the assurance that we're going to have, you know, a smooth election?
Definitely, I feel that for what it is worth, they ought to just have done it. But the fact that they have not done it is the reason why we are actually having this conversation. And maybe they are actually achieving their aim of putting the police so much so on the spot and putting them in the front burner and on the lips of everybody as to what their role has been so far in this election or pre-election, even though I do not subscribe to it. In all that we have to do, elections in other parts of the world, people conduct it. During elections, people go for lunch. We don't declare a holiday like we do in this country. People go to work. They take a break from work, 1 hour, go into the polling booth, vote, and come back. Even in America, for example, sometimes 2 months to the elections, there is something called early voting. So elections should not be war. Elections should not be when we call out all our dogs of war like we do here.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, Nelson, you know, the state PDP chairman, Anthony Aziegbemi, hinged their action on the alleged arrest of 10 PDP members currently detained by the police in Abuja. Now, these members obviously broke the law, and they would appear before a law court to be prosecuted. But is this enough to boycott signing a peace accord?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the PDP, the Edo State chapter, is playing the script written by the governor. Don't forget, the governor, before the peace committee did that ceremony, the governor had told the former head of state, Abdusalam Abubakar, that if their members who were arrested were not released, that they are not going to sign the peace accord. And don't forget, let me remind Nigerians, in 2020, when Governor Obaseki was coming for his second term, on the morning of elections, I was in Edo State. When Governor Obaseki went to his poll to the polls to vote in his polling unit. And he was asked by journalists, you know, he was the sitting governor then, that what is your assessment of this election? There was no name under the sun that Governor Obaseki did not call INEC and the police. He accused the police of compromising. He accused INEC of compromising. He accused everybody except himself. Lo and behold, when election results came out and he was declared the winner, he said the election was the best election ever conducted since the beginning of humanity. So that is the character of governor. And you can see that he has been making statements that are unexecutive. Because just this morning, I saw a lot of paper headlines where he declared the election do or die. So the signing of peace accord is a symbolism that we commit to peaceful, conduct from our own side. So and this is the first time it is happening in our history. Don't forget, since this peace committee has come into existence, we have never had situations where a party did not sign. And again, if you say your members have been arrested by the police, we're a country governed by laws. You have the courts to approach for the enforcement of the fundamental human rights of those who have been arrested. Rather than, you see, even the governor went as far on his X page of alleging that a chieftain of the opposition party was using the police helicopter to campaign, which was an absolute falsehood. So Governor Obaseki is stoking the embers of violence. And at our own level, we are going to issue a statement calling on the whole world to hold Governor Obaseki responsible for any breach of law and order during this election, because he has shown it clearly that he does not believe in peace.
Nelson, Justice General, balancing the scales now. PDP is saying release our 10 members. But here is it. There's an accusation against Governor Obaseki over his inability to also produce members of the Edo State Security Network, rather, who unleashed mayhem on APC supporters who were at the airport to receive the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, who was with the APC governorship candidate, Senator Monday Okwebolo, right? While returning from Abuja, killing Inspector Akko, a police officer, in the process. Now, what vivid picture are you projecting with all this mounting chaos?
For me, I think it is very, very wrong for any of both parties, whether it's the PDP, whether it's the APC, or maybe a Labour Party that they are calling their younger brother in this scheme. I feel that it is all wrong. Election should not be war. I feel that it is very, very wrong to... I'm not just saying it doesn't have to be a police officer that has been killed before the police are taking it more to heart. So I feel that the death of anybody, we cannot die in their war. Politicians really, really do not deserve it. So as much as possible, we should focus on the process that brings up our leaders, and we should ensure that it is credible. We shouldn't be importing arms, heating up the polity because we want a particular person who we think will preserve our own interests to make it to power. So I do not subscribe to it again. I will condemn it, whether it was the Obaseki that used the security network in the states to do it, or it is, as his camp too is alleging, that it is the PDP that actually, the APC that actually fomented violence against him at that place.
Under the watchful eyes of a governor?
So it's very, very unfortunate. Who could we trust?
Let's move on to our final topic for the day. Now,